Ever find yourself out there, wheels turning, but your mind's just racing, thinking about where that next good load is, or what new rule might be coming down the pike, or just, what the future holds for your business, your livelihood.
Yeah, that feeling of uncertainty, it's a heavy load in itself, isn't it? And for a lot of truckers right now, it feels like it's always there.
It really does. It's a tough road many are navigating.
Definitely. And look, the economic scene is shifting, new rules pop up.
Mhm.
It takes more than just driving skill to handle all that. It really demands sharp insights and, well, a proactive game plan.
Exactly. And that is precisely why we're here today. We're doing a deep dive, really cutting through the noise. We want to focus on what's actually happening in trucking right now, the real challenges you're facing out there. And maybe most importantly, the strategies that are actually working, helping truckers not just get by, but, thrive.
Yeah.
Take back some control.
Right. And we've pulled this info from all over. Industry reports, legal analyses, sure, but also straight from drivers. Real experiences. Plus, advice from platforms dedicated to, well, supporting truckers.
Yeah, our mission today is pretty simple. Boil all this down into clear, actionable stuff you can use. We want to show you different angles, give you the full picture, and hopefully offer a clear path forward.
Absolutely. We want you to walk away feeling respected, supported, and frankly, ready to tackle whatever's next.
Okay, so first things first. If we're going to navigate this, we need to understand what's putting the brakes on freight. I mean, you don't even tell you the market feels like a flat tire lately, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
But the latest outlook from the OIDA Foundation, well, it really confirms what a lot of drivers are feeling deep down.
It does. And they don't really pull any punches. The reports show freight volumes are down. Significantly down. Just fewer loads to go around for the trucks out there. And with that, rates are dropping, especially spot market. They're drying up fast. And you also see capacity easing, meaning, well, more trucks are parked or drivers are leaving altogether.
So it's that classic squeeze, isn't it? Too many trucks, not enough loads, rates in the tank.
Exactly. That's the tough reality, putting immense pressure on your bottom line.
It feels like the market's just kind of stuck in neutral, and you hear whispers about a recovery maybe next year, but it feels weak, like a mirage.
Yeah, the data backs that up. It's a weak rebound, if you can even call it that yet. You see dry van and reefer tick up a tiny bit, sure, but that's mostly seasonal stuff, Produce, maybe holiday goods.
Okay.
But flatbed, still really struggling. And like you said, contract rates might be slightly better maybe, but the spot market is still just depressed. Leaves a lot of owner-operator scrambling.
And there's more to it than just domestic demand, right?
Yeah.
What about global factors? Trade stuff?
Oh, absolutely crucial and often overlooked. We're seeing these new trade tensions, especially with China and other places. It causes real disruptions. For you, that means fewer imports, fewer containers hitting the ports.
Which means less long-haul freight moving inland.
Precisely. And it ripples through domestic production, too. Fewer parts moving around, fewer loads on the boards, and the shippers. They get stingy, they wait it out. It all just contributes to this slow, kind of choppy recovery where rates just can't seem to get traction.
So when you look at all this, who's really feeling the heat the most? Is it hitting certain groups harder?
It definitely is. It's almost always the smaller guys, the newer folks who feel it first, right? We're seeing a big shakeout among those who got their authority during the boom, like 2020, 2021, when the rates were crazy high.
Right, they jumped in when things looked good.
Exactly. Many came in with high truck payments, no established customer base. They're folding fast. Lease operators, too, they're really struggling. You've got those fixed payments, but the freight, it's just not consistent enough right now.
And independent owner operators.
Especially those with high overhead, maybe older equipment, and no direct shipper contacts. They're walking a very, very tight rope. They're carrying all the risk, essentially.
So, okay, that's the data, the economics, but what's the vibe actually like out there? What are drivers saying from the cab?
Oh, it's definitely mixed. You hear from let's call them the cynics, guys who've seen cycles before. One driver told us, recovery. This ain't recovery, it's a dead cat bounce. They're just trying to keep us rolling for cheap.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Then you got the hustlers, still running hard, but man, it's a grind. 24/7, like one said, I'm turning miles, but I'm skipping showers, eating junk, sleeping less. It's just grind mode.
Wow, tough.
Then there are the strategists. They're looking past the next load, thinking bigger picture. We heard from one, rates are garbage. Okay, so I'm focused on side income, staying lean. This rig's a tool, not my whole life.
Smart. Diversifying.
Exactly. And then sadly, you hear from the burned out. Folks just cashing out, going local maybe? A veteran driver told us, "I'm tired of chasing lies. This isn't the life I signed up for anymore. Local runs, home every night. That's the plan."
That really hits home. So these aren't just stats, are they? This directly impacts your truck, your routes, your family, your ability to just make a living.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the ground beneath your wheels, how it's changing.
Okay, so if the economic chop wasn't enough, there's this other huge current regulations and California's Clean Truck Partnership. That's making some serious waves.
It really is. California's move is bold, no doubt, pushing hard towards zero emissions. But it's got huge implications.
Yeah.
Mandates for electric trucks, restrictions on selling or registering new diesel engines.
And the deadlines are coming up fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some already this year.
Yeah, some are ticking in now or very soon. And while they offer incentives, credits, a lot of smaller fleets, owner-operators, they say they just can't access them. Or the money isn't nearly enough for, a multi-$100,000 electric rig.
So for many, it feels less like help and more like pressure.
That's what we're hearing. More like a squeeze play than a green revolution for the little guy.
And that brings in the Western States Trucking Association, the WSTA. They're not just accepting this, they're fighting back legally.
That's right, a full legal challenge. And their arguments are pretty direct. They're saying, look, this violates federal commerce laws. You're essentially blocking out-of-state trucks without this specific, very expensive equipment.
And that it hurts small carriers the most.
Yeah.
The ones who can't just absorb that cost.
Exactly. They also argue California's overstepping its authority on environmental regs without proper checks, basically setting national policy from Sacramento.
Creating potential chaos state by state.
Right. Different rules everywhere. It's a classic conflict, isn't it? Ambitious climate goals hitting the economic reality of trucking. And you, the driver, you're caught right in the middle.
Yeah, this isn't just legal theory for drivers, it's survival stuff.
Yeah.
Can I even haul into California with my current diesel truck? Will I have to upgrade, spend a fortune just for one state?
Or will these rules spread, follow you to other states? These are the real questions drivers are asking.
And are people already avoiding California because of this?
We're hearing that, yeah. Some are just saying it's too much hassle, too much uncertainty, easier to just stay out.
So the perspectives are all over the map, I imagine.
Completely. Environmental groups say it's vital. Cut emissions, improve air quality, lead the way. Big fleets, they're mostly quiet, they've got the resources, they see it coming, they can adapt.
Right.
But small carriers, owner-operators, they're cheering on the WSTA. They see it as fighting government overreach that could kill their business.
They're the California regulators.
They insist they're protecting public health, the planet, pointing to air quality issues. It's deeply divided.
So the big question is, could this go national? What are the stakes legally?
Huge stakes. If WSTA wins, it could really slow down or change emissions mandates across the country, set a precedent.
Okay.
But if California wins, you can bet other states, particularly blue states, might jump on board quickly with similar rules.
So this isn't just a California story anymore.
Not at all. It's potentially about the future of freight everywhere in the U.S., directly hitting your costs, your routes, the truck you'll need down the road.
Wow. Okay, so you've got economic pressure, regulatory pressure.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel kind of powerless, just reacting.
Right. Like you're just along for the ride.
But you're not helpless.
Yeah.
And this brings us to something Hervey from life,
Mm-hmm.
as a trucker talks about a lot. It's about seeing issues from all sides, sure, but then you've got to control what you can control.
That is such a key mindset shift. You can't control the whole market. You can't stop every regulation. But your own strategy, your game plan, that's on you.
And one powerful strategy we're seeing is diversifying equipment. Scott Smith's story, our trucker of the month, is a fantastic example.
Right. Scott Smith, Sapphire Cartage, he used to just run a standard flatbed. But when things got tight, he got creative. He didn't just chase fewer, cheaper flatbed loads. He asked, what else could I haul? What could I add?
And his solution was pretty smart. He added a grain hopper to his existing setup, which didn't just mean more loads, it meant different loads. Stability, variety, a whole new revenue stream, often seasonal.
Yeah, he told us he really did his homework. Looked at agricultural shipping patterns, talked to farms, grain brokers, understood the niche before he jumped in.
That's the key, isn't it? The homework.
Absolutely. And look at the flexibility it gives him now. Ag loads one season, industrial stuff another. It balances things out. When flatbed is slow, maybe grain is picking up. Fewer empty miles, too, because he has more reload options. That's money in the bank. More revenue per mile.
Now, okay, let's be realistic. Not everyone could just run out and buy a new trailer tomorrow.
Of course not.
But Scott's move wasn't just luck. It was strategic, educated. He ran the numbers, he made connections.
And you hear other drivers thinking along similar lines now, maybe adding a step deck, maybe getting into tankers.
Sure, some folks, maybe lease operators, feel it's too risky right now. Still paying off the current truck.
Right, different perspectives. But the core idea is making smart, informed moves. If you're thinking about it, weigh the cost versus return. Who do you know in that niche? What's the insurance impact? What new skills do you need?
That makes sense. So, beyond equipment, what about diversifying income? Especially using that off-duty time wisely.
Oh, critical. Absolutely critical. Managing your time not just for the shippers, but for yourself, for your future, your learning.
Okay, so what does that look like practically? Running lean, obviously.
Yeah, lean and mean. Cut deadhead ruthlessly. Renegotiate every expense you can, insurance, tires, everything. And be selective. Don't take those junk loads that waste time and fuel for peanuts.
Negotiate harder.
You bet. Work smarter routes, get picky. And yeah, try to connect with direct shippers if you can. It's more work up front, but pays off long term.
Yeah.
Better rates, more consistent freight usually.
And building income streams outside the truck. Using tech, maybe.
This is where off-duty time becomes a huge asset. Think about it. Could you dispatch for other truckers?
Right.
Use your experience to create content, blog, YouTube, sharing tips, flip used gear online.
Interesting.
And the tech piece is huge now. AI, automation. It can save you serious time finding better freight. But even more, it can help you create new income. Imagine learning skills to use AI to build extra, maybe even recurring income streams.
Like a safety net.
Exactly. A shield from the market, ups and downs. Helps you build real financial resilience. Helps you maybe retire when you decide to, not when the market forces you to. Protects you if your company folds or things change.
It makes trucking a choice, not a trap.
That's a goal. Invest in yourself. Learn skills that open doors beyond the cab. Don't just wait for the market to save you.
And there are resources, right? You mentioned retirefromtrucking.com.
Yeah, they've got free guides, AI training stuff, tools to help you get started on that path. It's about future-proofing yourself, securing that independence.
Good stuff. Okay, another strategy seems kind of basic, but maybe overlooked. Monitoring driver records.
Yeah, sounds boring, right? But it is absolutely mission critical,
Right.
Protects your people, your reputation, your wallet. A common mistake is just checking MVRs once a year, or just relying on drivers to self-report tickets or whatever.
Not enough these days.
Definitely not. Compliance is king. Regulations are tighter. Smart fleets do quarterly reviews. They educate drivers on rules, maybe reward clean records. Automated alerts can warn about expiring med cards, license issues, before they become big, expensive problems.
And from the driver's side, it's crucial for them too, right?
Oh, absolutely. We hear horror stories. I didn't even know my license was suspended. Why? Mail went to an old address. A minor ticket got lost in the shuffle. So you, as a driver, got to keep your own records tight. Check your MVR yourself sometimes. Update your address with the DMV immediately if you move.
For owner-operators especially, this is make or break.
Totally. Staying on top of CDL compliance, that's the difference between staying profitable and getting shut down. It's preparedness, not panic. A clean record keeps you rolling, earning, and insurable.
Okay, let's zoom out again. The bigger industry picture. Consolidation. Watsontown Trucking, buying Milton Transportation, and BTR is a big example recently.
Yeah, a really prime example.
Yeah.
And it's not just changing the name on the door, it's a strategic power move. Watsontown added what? 40 trucks, 300 trailers, 2 maintenance shops, significantly boosting their resources.
And why is this happening now, do you think?
Well, these low freight rates make it tough for smaller outfits to survive. For bigger, more stable companies, it's actually an opportunity. It's often cheaper to buy an existing operation, trucks, trailers, drivers, customers, than build it all from scratch in this environment.
Plus, bigger networks give them more clout with shippers.
Exactly. Better negotiating power. So while some are shrinking, Watsontown is bulking up. That tells you something about strategy in a downturn.
So, for a driver, maybe someone who was with Milton or BTR or just watching this, what does it mean for them? Good, bad?
It's mixed, potentially. The
Yeah.
good, maybe more freight options from the new combined customer base, better access to equipment, newer trailers, better shops maybe, possibly more stability being part of a larger growing company.
But there are unknowns.
Definitely. Will pay and benefits stay the same for the acquired drivers? What about the company culture? Will it clash? How smooth will the transition actually be? Is there a risk they lose drivers who don't like the changes?
What are drivers saying? Any reactions?
Yeah, kind of cautious optimism mixed with some wait and see. Heard from a Watsontown driver, if it means better shop support, more consistent runs, I'm in. But a Milton veteran was more wary, seen mergers go south. Better not mess with my pay or routes, or they'll lose good people. So, you know, hopeful but cautious.
Right. So the big takeaway here seems to be that success in these tough markets isn't about luck, it's strategy, adaptation.
Absolutely. The ones who survive downturns, who innovate, who adapt like Scott Smith did or like Watsontown is doing, they often come out stronger on the other side.
It really shows the resilience, the capability of drivers to navigate these huge shifts. Your choices today really do shape your tomorrow.
You know, in a world that feels like constant change, constant uncertainty, maybe real stability isn't finding some perfectly smooth path. Maybe it's about building the strength, the flexibility to just create your own path.
That's a powerful thought to end on. We've covered a lot: the economic bumps, the regulatory hurdles, but more importantly, the power you have, your agency. Success comes from staying sharp, running lean, diversifying, adapting.
You have control over your game plan. You're definitely not alone out there.
And we really encourage you to check out those resources. lifeasatrucker.com for industry news, real driver takes, operational tools.
And retirefromtrucking.com, especially if you're serious about building those off-duty income streams, using tech like AI to secure your future. They've got free guides, training, really valuable stuff.
Because, yeah, trucking should be a choice, a career you shape, not a trap that runs your life. We really hope this deep dive leaves you feeling respected, supported, and ready to make your next smart move.
Stay safe out there. Keep thinking strategically.
Until next time, keep those wheels turning smartly and keep driving your own future.